Hello and welcome back to Vegas Aces live stream. My name is Heather Ferris and I'll be your host for today. Now, on today's live stream, we are going to be discussing distractions. Beware of distractions. And we're going to talk about why, what kind of distractions you should look out for, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, if you guys have any questions or comments, put them in the chat and I'll answer it at the end of the video. And it's good to see you guys here and everything. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you're always notified of our latest videos and live streams. If you're new to this channel and this is your first time here, my name is Heather Ferris. I'm the founder of Vegas Aces, an adjunct professor at UNLV, a content creator, consultant, and I've been involved with the casino industry for over 15 years. I created Vegas Aces to help people learn how to play and deal table games. And as a way to give back to our community, we offer a free dealing trade school where we help place people at no cost. If you're interested, email me, heather@vegas-aces.com. Now, on with the show. So, first things first. Beware of distractions. Okay, so as a casino dealer, you want to beware of distractions. If you notice a distraction, this should automatically be a red flag for you that something is going on or something might be happening. If you notice a distraction, there are certain things that you should do in order to protect your table, but we're going to talk about that later on in the video. So watch for that at the end of this video. Now, cheaters use distractions as a way to shift the dealer's attention away from or towards, depending on what they're trying to accomplish. Some cheaters, like on roulette, for example, they want you to move a certain way, so they'll do certain things. Distractions are, like I said, a red flag. So you want to be careful of them. You want to be aware of them. Now, a little bit of history. The first recorded casino heist was in 1880, and someone actually used a bomb as a distraction. So they set off a bomb as a distraction. Now, that failed to work when the dealers who were at their post were stoic and stayed at their post and guarded the fortune. So nobody was able to steal any money that day. But that was the first cited incidents that was reported of a distraction being used in order to steal from the casino. Now, again, distractions are a red flag. If you see any of these distractions, if you notice any of these distractions, realize it's a red flag and then take proper precautions or proper steps in order to guard your table or protect your table. Again, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments. Before we continue on with this, for our viewers out there, if you like this video and you want to help support Vegas Aces, please remember to tip your dealer, and now you can with Super Chat. Super Chat is a way YouTube allows you to show your appreciation by tipping me any amount you want. Go ahead, give it a try, or show your support by becoming a member of our Patreon page. We have several different levels and rewards for you to choose from. Any membership level counts, even $1, so please go join today. Again, questions, comments, please put them in the chat and I will answer them at the end of the video. Okay, so let us go back to distractions. Now, distractions are a great way of getting the dealer to move in certain ways and focusing on certain aspects of the table, making it easy for the mechanic to work. So, for example, let's give a couple examples of this. On blackjack, if a player spilled a drink at one end of the table, let's say, third base or something, then the dealer is going to turn around and they're going to take care of that spilled drink. Now, you notice how I turned my body. my back is towards first base and half of my chips. So my distraction has caused me to lose my table protection. I'm not protecting my table as well as I could be. So when you're distracted, when someone, for example, spills a drink, red flag automatically. That's a red flag. And you want to watch your entire table at all times. Now, again, if the dealer spills a drink, in a way, they're sort of forcing the dealer to turn in how I showed you. So again, the back is to first base, and first base, that's when the mechanic would work their magic. So they would be pinching the bed, pressing the bed, whatever it is that they decided to do, whatever it is that they colluded on, that's what would happen. So it makes it a lot easier for the mechanic to do his work. If the dealer is distracted and their tunnel vision, their focus is on the other end of the table, where the mechanic is sort of like behind them, behind their back, and he can work, well. So again, distraction, if it happens, red flag, you want that red flag to go up, and then you want to take the proper procedures to protect your game. Now, another example. Oh, sweet. Thank you very much for the super chat. Yes, it's very distracting. I will talk about your super chats here in 1 second. Thank you again very much. Another example is on roulette. If a player is betting in a certain way, let's say they're betting in one area of the table. If they're betting in a certain way, then this way guarantees that the dealer will move how they want that dealer to move. So that way the mechanic is able to take advantage of the dealer's blindness and the sweet spots, and they're able to work, they're able to move, they're able to do what they do a lot easier. So again, that was an example for blackjack. That was an example for roulette. On blackjack, the player would spill the drink, dealer would turn their back, and the other player would use that time to pinch or press their bet or execute a variety of cheating maneuvers. And yeah. Okay, so that is for roulette. That's for blackjack. I hope that gives you sort of like a good example of what you're looking for. Before we continue on, before I start telling you, give you a list of like some of the distractions that you should look out for. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Also, too, if you can think of any distractions that has happened on your game or that has happened on a table that you know something happened on, please put it in the chat. Please put it in the comments. Let's get a collection of stories together so people can read them and they can benefit from those experiences. Now, back to our viewers real quick. If you guys like this video and you want to help support Vegas Aces, then one of the ways you could do so is by going to vegas-aces.com and clicking on one of our affiliate banners. When you sign up for an account through an affiliate link from our site, then we get a small commission. Now, if you ever have any problems or if you need help with any dispute, please let us know. We are here for you. And we will help you in any way that we can. Okay, back to the show. So let's talk about what kind of distractions that you would look out for that would take your attention away from the game. And again, if you guys have any distractions that you want to add to this list, please put it in the chat. So some of these distractions may involve spilled drinks, like what I talked about before with the blackjack game. Any embarrassing or way too personal questions. If someone is talking to you and they're asking you like a shocking question, that right there should trigger a red flag. basically anything that makes you upset or angry. Just like those scammers that call you on the phone, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get your emotions to go wild. They want you to have an emotional response, because then you're not thinking logically. You're less likely to protect your game. You're more, what's the word I'm looking for? It sounds bad. You're easy. I can't think of any other way to say it. It sounds so bad. But basically, you don't want to make it easy for them. You want to protect your game at all times. So if someone is at your table, they're asking you questions, they're trying to get an emotional response out of you. If you give them that emotional response, if you get angry, if you get upset, if you feel like crying, if you get that emotional response, you're not thinking clearly, and your mind is somewhere else, and you're distracted, and they could be doing something under your nose and you don't realize it because you're not thinking clearly. So that's another example of a distraction that they would use against the dealer. Some more distractions would be using a beautiful woman who is showing off some skin. Maybe, the person is drunk and something slips. I mean, that's a distraction right there, right? All of a sudden you got, all the dealers in that vicinity aren't looking at their game. They're looking at that one person, and that's happened before. It's a distraction, and it's a red flag. And you should realize that, once the red flag comes up, okay, this is a red flag. This is a distraction. I must protect my game. And just reading some of your comments, the one that made me laugh was this. So that is another example of a distraction. Some more distractions: be on the lookout for anything odd, unusual, weird, strange, anything that's out of the normal. Also, too, fights. Fights are a huge distraction, either a fight on the table, a fight between two players. You could even have like a fight outside, like right outside of the table, at a bar that's close by or something. And all of a sudden, everyone's attention is focused in that area and they're not looking at their table. So again, if any of this happens, this is a red flag. You must protect your table. Now, if you guys have any examples of distractions, please put it in the chat. Please put it in the comments, so that way we could get a list of distractions that are commonly used. If you know what to look out for, if you know that this is a distraction, then that red flag is going to come up a lot easier and a lot faster. So let us go on. Now, remember, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, please put it in the chat and I will answer it shortly. Just a quick reminder, Vegas Aces is supported by viewers like you. So donations make it possible for us to bring you all of these videos for free. If you think that this video is worth more than $0, please donate the amount you feel it's worth by clicking the link in the description below. Okay. So let us continue with the last section, and then I will get to your chats and what you guys are saying. Really do appreciate your patience and everything. Thank you for waiting. So the last part of the video, the most important part of the video, now that you know about distractions, now that you know what to look out for, now that I've talked about that red flag quite a bit, what do? When you have a distraction on your table and you get that red flag and you recognize, oh, this is a distraction, well, what do? First off, don't have tunnel vision, okay? Look at your entire table. Take a step back and have the entire table in your view at all times. And for example, if you have a spilled drink and you have to clean up the spilled drink, a lot of people get that tunnel vision and they clean up the spilled drink and all they could see is that area. If you have a spilled drink, for example, literally take a step back, go to the side of the table. So that way, when you're cleaning up that spilled drink, you're all the way at the side of the table. However, you have the entire table in your view. So you're cleaning up that spilled drink, and you could see the entire table at all times. That's one way to protect your game. So again, when the dealer recognizes the distraction for what it is, focus on the entire table and all of the bets. Remember to stay alert, remember to stay calm, and don't let the players stir up your emotions. Remember, they are trying to get to you. Hypervigilance is the best way to increase security, the table protection of the game. And it may not stop the cheating maneuver from taking place. However, if you recognize the distraction for what it is and you look at the table and you watch everything, you're going to be able to see that cheating maneuver. You know, you're going to be able to see something funny took place. You're going to be able to see it. It's not, you know, behind you. It's right in front of you, and you're looking at all the bets and all of the hands at once. Now, another thing that will help is casing the table layout. If you case your table layout every single time before the cards even come out, that will help you immensely. When I say case the table layout, know exactly what the player is betting. Make sure the bet is not over the table maximum or under the table minimum. Make sure you know all of the chips that are there. So, for example, if they're betting $55, you know it's 2 green and 1 red. And that way, at the end of the table, when you're paying the bets, if any of the bets don't match what you remember at the very beginning, you know that pinching or pressing might have taken place. So memorize everyone's bets. Make sure you know how they play, what their average bet is, what they normally play. Make sure you could see all of the chips, and make sure that those bets match when you go to pay them at the end of the hand. Always, always, always watch your entire table at all times. Try not to have tunnel vision. Don't let your eyes leave the table. Even if there is a gorgeous woman walking by, I think this might have been a distraction. I was working in a casino one time, and we literally had a woman walk around the casino like topless, bare-breasted, just walking around the casino, and everyone was looking at her, like everyone. So again, red flag, distraction. Hello, don't look at the, bare-breasted woman. Look at your table. Watch your table. This is very important. So, again, be aware of distractions. Another thing too is, and this is the last thing for this live stream, follow all policies and procedures at all times. And this one is really big for game security and table protection. If all of the dealers are following all of the procedures all the time, then if anything happens that is weird, unusual, strange, anything like that, Eye in the Sky is going to be able to pick it up a lot easier, a lot faster. They'll be a lot more sure of themselves if everyone is following the same policies and procedures. If everyone does it the same, they'll notice right away when someone does it differently, and they'll be able to catch cheaters a lot easier that way. Okay, so let's go to our viewer chat questions. If you guys had a question, if you guys did anything in the chat, let's go and take a look at it now. And thank you again very much for showing up and joining me on this live stream. Okay. Everyone is here. Hi, Bill. Hey, Smokey Joe. Justin. Hey, Rocky. Good to see everyone. Alan, Wolfgar, you guys are so fantastic. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see. And thank you again very much for the super chats. Very, very much appreciate it. I promise I will do the super chat perks. Not at the moment, but I promise I will do them. Thank you very much. And yes, it is distracting. Thank you. I like that distraction. That's my kind of distraction. Okay, here's a good question from Wolfgar. Do you feel that roulette or blackjack is harder to protect? From personal experience, I would say all tables are about the same when it comes to table protection. Even though the games are different, you're still pretty much looking for the same cheating maneuvers. For example, pressing and pinching will be used on both blackjack and roulette. Counterfeit money I've had on both blackjack and roulette. You always have to make sure that you have the entire table in your view at all times. No tunnel vision. That goes for blackjack, just the same as it goes for roulette. I talked about it in one of my earlier videos, the roulette scam, how you want to be able to watch the table at all times. You want to be able to case the layout, know what people are betting, make sure people aren't betting any large denomination bets or anything. So really, everything, all of the procedures that you do for game security and table protection, you apply it to all of the games. So it's not like, oh, you just do this one thing for, well, no, that's not true, because on craps, you book your bet. You don't book your bet on roulette. You don't book your bet on blackjack, but on craps, you have to book your bet. Booking your bet means that if a player says a $30 six, then you would repeat $30 six. You know, if someone says, you know, give me a $30 6 and 8, you would, you know, repeat what they said. So that's not true. You would book your bet on craps. But basically, they're the same policies and procedures. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Smokey Joe says, it's not casino related, but at a bar I once worked at, a woman popped out one of her boobs, and the young barman was so distracted he didn't notice her boyfriend emptying the till, and I caught it all on camera. Ooh. Yeah, so these distractions, it's not just for casinos. When someone is, you know, stealing from you, a distraction is a good thing to use to distract them. I mean, magicians use it all the time. Magicians and people who use sleight of hand use distractions of a way of doing that. And if you realize that, if you know that, if you are aware of this, it's a lot harder for them to get away with that. A fight between 57 ninjas. I would love to see that. Pen clicking. Thanks. Here's a good one. A pretty obnoxious one is, hey, can you tell me where X table is, or where, you know, a certain pit is? And then the dealer points where it is. And sometimes they look and they turn their head. That's a really, really good point. That's a good one to bring up. And then a more aggressive approach is to actually get to the tray. Yeah. So another distraction is someone doing something crazy, like trying to grab money out of your tray. They don't think that they're going to succeed, but it's a distraction, and it works well. And then just like what you were saying before, someone asking for directions, you know, they know where it is and they know it's behind you. And some people, when they tell you where it is, they'll be like, oh, it's right over there. And all of a sudden, now you have your back turned to the game. You have your back turned to the table, your bank. Not good for table protection. Very, very good point. Thank you very much for that. Next up. Hi. Oh, thank you very much for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. Okay, so it looks like I answered all of your questions. If you guys have a question, please put it in the comments and I'll answer it later on. That does it for today's show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Please join us on our next live stream. We do a live stream every Monday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, this is Heather Ferris with Vegas Aces, reminding you that education can change the world. Have a good one, guys. See ya.